I hope you guys like what we're about to come up with. Uh, this is our pilot. We're going to be doing my time at Portia, or some call it Portia because we rather call it Portia than Portia. With me today, I'm Karsa, KKWX. With me today, we have Bailez, 115. Say hi.
Hello.
And then we also have It's Bullhead, who is here. Say hi.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
All right. So we are starting this out. We're wanting to play a game that we know anybody can play. Either they play it through Xbox Game Pass, or they play through Epic, or they play it through Steam. But the criteria is it has to be free. So because all of us are on a budget. Am I not right?
Definitely.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So who wants to pay $60 for a game that may or may not be good, right? Well, even the free games, sometimes you don't want to spend hours upon hours on them if they're not really that good, or you don't want to even download them because you don't have the space on your computer. So I came up with this idea, and they have joined me in on this. That we would play a game that is free, either on Steam, Epic, or on Xbox Game Pass. Now, that one, of course, does cost a monthly subscription, but you get a ton of games for that amount, in which we could bring up as a casual gamers for casual gaming, and we could bring it up, show it to everybody on our stream, because we're all from Twitch. You can find us at twitch.tv under the names that you see here, and we will play it like for 1 or 2 weeks, and then we will review it. And we have criteria that we want to review. The criteria that we like to review, of course, is creative arts and graphics, mechanics and controls, gameplay, access and settings, overall plot, the music, which we'll only play for a short time, and the overall view. With this, we are going to have a score set up. We're going to have each of us get 5 stars, 1 for each criteria. If it does not meet our criteria of a good game, it does not get a star. If it's a good game, or we would play it again because of that criteria, it's a star. And then at the maximum amount of stars is 15 stars. How does that sound for you guys?
And
Yeah, it sounds perfect.
Okay. So, let's see here.
yes, if I might interrupt you, since it's our first one, we should probably introduce ourselves and what our streams are about.
Yes, actually, I was about to say that. That's a great idea. All right. I guess I will start with you, Bailez.
Sure. I got into streaming with a focus on Fire Emblem, which is a strategy RPG series. But I'm a variety streamer as well. I branch out into I played MOBAs a little bit and regular RPGs and sometimes shooters every now and then. So definitely happy to be a part of this team as I get to enjoy some games I may not otherwise try.
Great. And how about you, It's Bullhead?
Pretty much almost the same for me. I've been a long time streamer, practically 9 years now. I started with World of Warcraft, and then since then I branched out into probably almost every single genre. So, as a long-time gamer, I try and I at least try and stick to things I like. But with this, I do also like to branch out to things that I think I might not enjoy, or I just might not give the thought of the thought of the thought of it to actually try. So I'm happy to be here and just try out new and different types of games.
Okay. And Karsa, KKWX, Karsa is my name, KKWX is my empire. I have been doing this since September. When I did last year, I did free games. I am. Well, let's just put it this way. Every game I've either played is either been given to me or I've had to use a free game. Because as a variety streamer and on a budget, and I'm extremely on a budget, being disabled and all, that I have to look for a way of playing games that I will enjoy. And there's not a lot out there sometimes for free games. A lot of people have the negative connotation that free games are not all that good, or they're free games for maybe pay to win, stuff like that. So I figure, why not review it? And it gives me something to play for my stream. I'm just a recent streamer. We're all, I think, small time streamers at this time, probably under 1,000 or something like that. We're looking, of course, to get more people to see us and also to play more games. These are games that I probably will play more often than not. But there are some games that we will be playing that I probably will never touch again. I do not really care for first time or first player shooters, but I do a lot of survival, Minecraft, sci-fi, and things like that. So there you go. That is all of us in a nutshell, is our introduction. And I guess we should get started. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
I'm trying to think. I don't. I don't think there is. I mean, hopefully this all works out well and find some really cool things to play and share with the community. You know.
How about you, Bailez?
Yeah, nothing. I'm just excited to get started with our first one.
Yeah, I am literally thrilled. Yeah, like last year I did this all by myself and it was like, oh, this is so boring. I want to do it with somebody else. So I am excited. All right, let's get going with the first one, and that is creative arts and graphics. Here we go. Okay, so with creative arts and graphics, we just want to basically talk overall about what we like about the beginning. So I'm going to start up the one that we have here to give myself a different look. And this was basically
I don't like the big
a
lips, so
clip of me trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my character. I wanted to see if I could go
with that one.
very wide and
No,
in depth
I think
with
we
the
could actually
colors,
give myself blue
which you can't
skin.
always do with some games.
Oh my gosh!
In
I can
fact,
give myself blue skin.
some games
That's awesome.
you cannot change the skin color.
That's
and
incredible.
I was able to change the skin color.
And I get a
There are
little
some
bit
games
of
that the picture
myself
of
a
the
different
people
look.
rather homely.
I don't like the big lips,
And
so that's
not in
too
this
bad.
case. So that's why I
Alright,
chose
we'll go with that one.
to look at the
No, I think we
creative
could actually give myself blue
arts and
skin.
graphics.
Oh my
Anything
gosh!
you like to
I
say
can give
about
myself
that?
blue skin. That's awesome.
No, I think the character customization was great. The first thing that attracted me to the game was that they let you pick a male or a female character, so I appreciated that right off the bat. And the characters, they all look cute, so
That's not too bad.
Yeah. And
Right.
I think it worked out. I liked it, and the fact that like the big thing was like they let you. Like you were talking about the colors before. Just the fact that they have that, because lots of places they're like, oh, you get like 5 different colors you could choose from, or but this one like it gives you the whole spectrum of any color you really kind of want. So that's I enjoyed that. Because the characters they don't look bad. They give you some options, and I think you can always find something you would like.
Yeah. I also liked how the art was done. It almost was a watercolor type art. And I don't see many good watercolor games out there, but when they're played, I mean, yes, it is a little bit cartoony, but it's a very well done art cartoon. And
would say. Oh, I'm sorry, Karsa.
oh no, go ahead. Explain what you decided to choose.
Alright, so I picked the menu because it kind of very well shows like what's going on in the backgrounds. This RPG sim slash like resource management genre is so oversaturated with 8-bit games like Kinseed, Stardew Valley, just to name a couple. And it was such a breath of fresh air to see a game where, you know, the animals are moving around, like their wings are flapping, the tree leaves are moving. They've taken things into consideration, the clouds moving across the sky. Like, those are things you don't see really in games like Stardew Valley, and it was such a breath of fresh air to see them take so much time to develop the look of the game.
I've never played Stardew Valley, but I've seen exactly what you're talking about, and I do find the way that they did the 3D graphics made it easier for you to feel like you were part of the show or part of the game than with what you might find in Stardew Valley.
Absolutely.
It gives you a lot of freedom too, right? Because games like Stardew Valley, or even like other games that do kind of do the 3D thing, like they're kind of limited, right? But here, like you're able to basically just look in and see anything you want, or like, well, I guess story-wise, go almost anywhere you want. So I just like that freedom, and like being able to just like look around and like just enjoy the view.
Where were we? You were talking Bullhead.
Oh no, I was just mentioning like just the freedom to look around the way you want, and like all the little details they added into the environment, like the clouds moving, or you see how the animals act and everything like that. I actually enjoyed that part.
Yeah, I really do like how they made this. I mean, there was a little bit of cartoon part. I mean, look, there's the llama. You'll find out real short. Like, looks a little off, but it's still cute. It's very cute, and I'm glad they did that. So, let's see. We still have. Okay, so that's the end of that. All right. So, in the terms of graphics and character art, would you give it a star or no star?
Or giving it a star on this one.
Yeah, it'll get a star from me.
Okay, so we're going to add 3 stars for the graphics because that was well done. There you go. All right, let's do the next step, which is mechanics and controls. Let's go. right. So with mechanics, controls, and art, controls, mechanics and controls, we have. Let me get in here. Mine. All right, mine's next. So
There we go.
one of the things that
Not
I
too bad.
did not find thrilling, but I do know that you guys were saying that in the future.
Not enough.
There we go. So in the terms of
There we go.
this
Not too
part,
bad.
as you can see, I was in doing some room
Not enough stamina to
hunting
do anything. Oh
and
no.
looking for
Maps
some
E.
materials and stuff like that inside the
Let's
abandoned
go
ruins.
and get out.
I came across the fact that I ended up with
Can only do so
no
much per
stamina
day.
whatsoever. It was late at night.
I'm not sure if I like that
And
completely,
at one
honestly,
time, when it was so late,
but I guess it
I
keeps you
literally
from doing
collapsed
too
in the
much.
middle of the street and woke up in my bed.
There we go.
So,
Not too bad.
in the terms of this, which is the mechanics and controls, I felt the
Not
mechanics
enough
on the
to do
stamina,
anything. Oh no.
for
Maps
me,
E.
I didn't like as much.
Let's go.
And that's why I
and
wanted to bring
get
that
out.
up. And I didn't like
only
the
do
fact
so much
that I
per
literally
day.
collapsed on the floor at the middle of the
I'm not sure
night
if I like that
in the
completely,
street, and
honestly,
instead of in my bed.
but I
So,
guess it keeps you from
what
doing
did you guys
too
think
much.
of that?
So in terms of that, this genre of the game, that is a pretty common mechanic.
Not too bad.
But it doesn't mean that it's not frustrating. It's just that, for somebody who's played a bunch of games
Not
in this
enough
genre,
stamina to
that's
do
become a normal
anything.
thing
Oh
for me to
no.
deal with.
Maps
As far
E.
as that's concerned, though, like in Stardew Valley, if you
Let's
manage to
go
try to swing your axe
get
at
out.
1 energy and it's going to consume 2 energy, you'll just pass out.
Can only do so
So,
much per day.
at least in this game, it won't let you swing the axe and pass out.
I'm not
As
sure
far
if
as
I
you
like
passing
that
out in the middle of the street, I
completely,
think the cutoff
honestly,
time is 2 a.m.
but
But
I
there
guess
are
it
other
keeps you
games
from
like
doing too much.
Kataria Fables in the genre, where you can literally just stay up all night and
There
it
you
doesn't
go.
make a difference.
Not too bad.
So I can see why that would be frustrating to somebody who's not used to the mechanic yet.
Oh yeah, I was definitely
Not
not
enough
used to it.
stamina to do anything.
But I know that
Oh
it
no.
changes. You said that
Maps E.
the stamina changes with time,
Mhm.
and it
Let's
does
go
grow,
get
and
out.
with also some of the furniture that you
Can only
have
do so
and all
much per
that.
day.
There are also skills that increase it.
I'm
There are
not sure if I
skills.
like that.
What did you
completely,
think of that, Bullhead?
honestly. But I guess it keeps you from
I'm used to
doing
it.
too
I mean,
much.
by default, like at the beginning of any game like this that has
There
like a
we go.
stamina system, it's kind of
Not too
annoying
bad.
because you haven't really fleshed out like how much you can spend doing what.
Not enough stamina.
So like
to
if you
do
zone out
anything.
like
Oh
I do
no.
sometimes and you just
Maps
do
E.
stuff, like you end up just passing out on the floor. And that's fine. You
Let's
learn. But I
go
mean,
and get out.
it's like it's a mixed bag for me. I like it, I don't like it, but I can
Can
deal
only
with
do so
it.
much per day.
As for like the time limit, like I get it.
I'm not
It's like
sure if I
it's a
like
day by
that
day
completely,
like farming sim, so
honestly.
they kind of want you to go to bed
But I guess
at least
it keeps you from
one
doing
point
too
during the
much.
night instead of passing out, which I think is fine. But
There
like
we
I think
go.
as the longer you play
Not too
this, I
bad.
think it'll be easier to kind of get
Not enough
used to how
stamina to do
the game
anything.
is,
Oh no.
because this is
Maps E.
like it's a long time. Like you don't play this
Let's
for like
go and
15 hours
get
and then
out.
you're done, right? Like this is the type of game where you can keep going and going
Can
and
only do
going.
so
So
much per day.
you know, as you level up and get more accustomed to
I'm
everything,
not sure
or
if
you
I
get
like
better
that
gear and things like
completely,
that, like
honestly.
it kind of evens itself
But
out after a
I
while.
guess it keeps
But
you
I
from
still
doing
enjoyed it
too
in the
much.
end, even
No.
though some things did make me slightly annoyed.
Now, I
There
did
you go.
find that mechanic would
Not
be
too bad.
common for like maybe a mobile type phone game, but I was a little bit
Not
off
enough
put
stamina to
by
do
that.
anything. Oh
So,
no.
there is that.
Maps E.
All right, moving on to a
Oh,
bit.
you can, I forgot to mention,
Let's
you can
go
restore
and
your stamina
Get out.
through food and things like that.
Can
Which
only
is a
do
good
so
thing.
much
So
per day.
yeah, so there is kind of a way to like
I'm not sure
keep
if I like
going,
that
even though you
completely.
think you stopped.
honestly.
So that just clicked
But
into my brain
I
right now.
guess it
So
keeps you
just
I
from
will
wanted to
doing
mention
definitely
too
that.
say,
much.
compared to other games in the genre, If you don't feel like buying the food,
There
if
you
you want
go.
to make the food, it is
Not
a
bad.
lot tougher to make stamina replenishing food in this game because it focuses more on HP replenishing food.
Not enough stamina to do anything.
I think that
Oh
has to also do with the
no!
fighting too, right?
Maps.
Because people
Absolutely.
think you want to eat, so they think when you eat you restore health.
Hmm.
Let's go and
So it might be a
get
bit
out.
harder.
Yep.
I mean, it's still. I mean, it's accessible. I think you
Only
could
do
find
so
things
much
on the
per
floor.
day.
Well, not on the floor, but I think you could find the
I'm
berries
not
and
sure if I
stuff
like
in the
that
wild from
completely,
kicking trees that'll just
honestly.
restore your stamina
But
if you're really
I guess
looking.
it
But
keeps you from doing too
Okay.
much.
yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Alright, let's go with Bailey's mechanics of what she was looking at.
I will definitely say that the ability to customize your inputs on a computer is phenomenal. However, if I have the option to use a controller, to use a gamepad, I'm always going to take that option because my first console was a Super Nintendo and I just grew up with a controller. Computer gaming didn't happen until I was much, much older. So if I can use a controller, I want to. And the problem I had with this, and it's a problem I have with a lot of games, is that they'll let you customize whatever you want with the computer controls, but as you'll see when I switch over to the controller here, those are preset and I can't do anything to change them. So if I want to swing an item with the R trigger instead of the X button, I can't do it. And that's frustrating.
And what would you say about that, Bullhead?
It's just a show of times. I mean, like I get it. We can use both now, which is nice. I can just plug in a controller into your computer and playing, because it used to be a pain in the butt to do that. But it's always been unfortunate that they didn't really let you customize
Unfortunately, if you're using a gamepad, you
your
can't
controller
change anything, so that seems to be a bit of a
inputs.
problem for me.
But I think it's also it's the way they design things, right? Like with a keyboard, you're not going to really, well, for things like with swinging and stuff, I don't think you really change. But like the button layout on the keyboard is like pretty insane, so you can set
so
other
just a
things
little
to
bit
it.
about the input here.
So I can see how they
We can all
like
see that you can customize.
make it really customizable. So I
What's
just, I
done on a
don't know. I
computer.
hope in the future,
The
everyone who
things
does
are very
play with a
customizable
controller,
for a
who
computer.
wants to play with a controller, can
Unfortunately,
get
if you're
that
using a
ability to
gamepad,
like
you
fully
can't
customize
change anything, so that seems
the
to be a bit of a
controls the way they
problem for
want
me.
to.
Yeah, I
So
can
I know certain games have layouts, so it's like it could be there, So
I can understand what you are both saying about the controllers. I don't use a controller. I use actually the PC, and I found it
so
kind
just
of
a
a
little
breath
bit
of
about the
fresh
input
air
here.
that I could
We can all
change
see
it,
that you can
that I
customize.
could make
What's done on a
work
computer.
customizable with the PC. I did
Things
not
are very
see how
customizable for a
the
computer.
controller works, but I can
Unfortunately, if
understand
you're using
exactly
a
where you're
gamepad, you
coming
can't
from with
change
that.
anything, so that seems to be a bit of a
Also,
problem for me.
when looking at the graphics and things like that, I was very happy because I have only one screen. I was very happy that I was able to make it so that it would become small enough
so
for
just
me
a little
to
bit about the
look
input
at
here.
my
We can all
activity
see
in
that
my
you can
stream chat
customize.
as well as be able
What's
to
done on
play
a
the
computer.
game. So
The,
I was happy about
things
that
are
when
very
we were looking
customizable for a
into the
computer.
graphics
Unfortunately,
and
if
the
you're using a
size
gamepad,
of
you
your
can't
screen.
change anything, so that
So,
seems to be a bit of a problem
That's
for
how I
me.
feel about that. Uh, Bullhead. I think yours clip is next. So what did you want to say about this?
I just wanted to show the fighting. Like, there's lots of different mechanics in this game, right? You start off with the farming aspect. You can plant your crops when you build the planter. You can build things. You can make your pickaxes and stuff, and that also includes like fighting. You can go, well, you were showing, you can go mining for stuff. There's relationship things. So, one of the things I wanted to show at least was the combat, which was actually pretty enjoyable to me. So I figured I'd give it a go to get some footage of it. It's a little wonky sometimes, but maybe like 90% of the time I didn't really have any issues with it, and it was pretty fluid and enjoyable. So I think they did a good job there.
Did you notice the rock paper scissors?
Yes, I think that has to do like if you win, you get a relationship point, so you can play rock, paper, scissors with some people. I think you can also spar with some people as well, but I didn't really click on that option.
I did click on that option. Don't go after Higgins right away. You'll die.
Gonna get you.
He is actually, I think, probably considered a medium boss, and yeah, he will get you. So don't go after him right away. I did. He died. So I ended up basically in my bed with no stamina, no hit points. It was just not funny. So there we go. I believe that's all about mechanics. Is there anything else you would like to say about mechanics?
The combat, it was basic, and I really appreciate that, because there are so many games that try to overcomplicate their combat process, where you start to have to press 13 different keys to use your abilities, and it's too much for a casual game like this. So I appreciated the route that they took with the combat.
Okay. How about you, Bullhead? Is there anything else you would like to come up with on this matter?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And the combat felt fluid. Like, it didn't really have too many problems. Well, the only one downside, well, I wouldn't say a downside, but as simple as the combat was, you can get pretty cheap with it and like stun lock monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that plays out later on, so I enjoyed it. So just a little funny. I didn't do it here because I was trying to like really show it off. But when I started, I think I was level 1 and these guys were like level 9 or 10, and I had a racket and I just stun locked them to death. So I was able to kill them. Well, I wouldn't say relatively easy because they had a lot of HP, but like I wasn't able to take damage or anything like that, or I didn't have to dodge or anything. So, but it's fun.
Okay. So in terms of your stars, would you give it a star for this particular category or no?
I honestly think I'm going to decline on this one.
Okay, Bullhead?
I would give it a star. I think the only thing that annoyed me about any of the mechanics in this game was I didn't like the way you place furniture in this game, and that I was like reliant on like the position you're in, because I kept messing up trying to, like, you take one step too far and then all of a sudden you clip into something and can't put it down. So I wish you were able to like how would I explain it?
Down it?
Go into like a top down view, and then you can just like rotate things nicely. I think that would have been a better system.
Yeah,
because they let you do that because you can upgrade your farm, and you can like do that, right? They let you like play something or move something. So I was like, why couldn't they just let you do this inside your house as well? So that's like the only one thing I didn't necessarily appreciate about how tedious that was sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't find that fun either. I kept having to pick something up, put it back down, and I had to get it such a way. I felt like you're right on that. So I am not going to give it a star as well. So, we will go ahead and move on to gameplay access and settings. Here we go. Alright, for gameplay access and settings, let's continue on this time. Guys, actual work! Okay, here we go. Crafting itself. I kind of we need to make a grinder. We got a grinding stone. We need 2 grinding stones. And it told you exactly how and more stone. And we need a copper. So we're gonna take copper and I really enjoyed make copper here. The crafting was done. We gotta refuel this with guys actual work. Okay, here we go.
So
We
it was
need to
so
make a grinder.
relieving
We got a grinding
to not have the
stone.
game
We
be
need
all
2
about
grinding
farming.
stones.
Just to have
And
that
more
variety
stone.
that
And
we
need a
haven't had
copper.
before.
So we're going to take
Some
copper
ingenuity added to the
and
formula of this that hasn't
copper
changed
here.
since Harvest Moon came out
We gotta
30 odd
refuel
years ago, I
this
think.
with guys
So
actual
it's
work.
just so nice to see
Okay,
something
here we
new
go.
and innovative in that process.
We need to make a
Yes,
grinder.
I like
we
the
got a
fact that it was a
grinding
workshop
stone.
and
We
not
need
just
2
the
grinding
farm
stones
for once. I mean, every
and
time
more
I
stone.
see
And we need a
games
copper.
like
So we're going
Stardew
to take
Valley
copper
and
and
some of the other ones, even the
make
Craftopia
copper here.
is similar to that.
We gotta
respect. I mean,
refuel
there is
this
some
with
workshop
guys
there,
actual
but
work.
there is a
Okay,
lot of,
here we go.
farming there as well. So I really
we
liked
need to
how
make a
this was
grinder. We got a grinding stone. We
How
need
about you,
2
Bullhead?
grinding stones
They made it simple.
and
Some
more
games
stone. And we need a
Get
copper.
very cryptic
So we're going to take the
with how to
copper
make stuff.
and
And
make
you
copper
gotta like
here.
try and figure it out. But here,
We
it's
gotta
just like
refuel this
you want
with
this, right?
guys
And it's
actual
like-
work. Okay,
what does
here
it say?
we go.
It's like build
We
like,
need to make a grinder. We got a
what's the name of it? The
grinding
grinder thing.
stone. We
Not
need
the grinder,
2
like the
grinding
chainsaw thing.
stones
and it's like
and
it tells
more
you
stone. And we need a
what
copper.
other
So
piece
we're gonna take
you
the
need
copper
for it.
and
So you would need the grinder.
make
so it's
copper
like,
here.
You know, you get this piece from the grinder, so you know
gotta
before you build
refuel
that, you gotta build
this
the grinder.
guys
And then you can
actual
make the parts from
work.
the grinder
Okay, here
to
we go.
use to build the other piece. So I enjoyed that.
We need to
And
make a
they also made it
grinder. We
where,
got a
like, you-
grinding
like-
stone. We need
Like it
2
was said
grinding
before, you didn't have
stones
to like super grind
and more
materials.
stone. And we need a
You're like, hey,
copper.
get some materials
So
from like
we're gonna take
trees and
copper
stones, and then
and
you just need some
make
parts from
copper
the.
here.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting what that
we
place
gotta
is called.
refuel this with
Like
guys
the,
actual
yeah,
work.
The
Okay, here we
the
go.
ruins.
Mhm.
So I got some pieces here, and it's not
We
like
need to make a grinder. We
insane
got a
amount,
grinding
so I-
stone. We need 2
I liked what they
grinding
did here.
stones
You didn't have to grind a zillion different
and
things.
more
to-
stone. And
to
we need a
just get
copper.
this done. You can do
So
it
we're gonna
and
take the
then
copper
easily
and
go about and do something else. So
make copper here.
I like that aspect.
We gotta refuel
Okay,
this
so let's
with
move on
guys
to,
actual work.
the gameplay that
Okay, here we
Bailey
go.
chose.
If I can get it to work. Give me 1 moment. Yep, it's looping. Why are you not playing? Alright, we do not have this one working out like we would like to have. We're gonna move on to Bullheads then. Alright, Bullhead, you also chose crafting. So is there anything more you would like to say about the crafting?
No, I mean, no. I would like to, but like I said, I didn't get to put a lot of time into the game, so I don't know how intricate things get crafting wise, but like from a base standpoint, like I enjoyed it. I mean, I was a little annoyed about how long it takes some things to be made, and that like the smelter stuff I get, but like the cutting, if you got to cut a piece of wood, like I'm waiting like 5-6 hours of in-game time for that to be done. So that was annoying to me, but the
Something I can-
remedy to that, yeah.
I
Oh,
can
you
definitely
can.
touch on that. Coming into this, I think I was the only one of the 3 of us that had actually played this before. And, like, what you mentioned about things taking a long time, when you get a project, basically if it's a big one, there's a quest early on to make DD transports, which are basically just cars. And, I mean, it's within the first few hours of play, so you may have even encountered it. To complete the requirement where you get an achievement to build all of them before any other builder can take one, you basically have to write down what you need to make and all of the materials you need to make it beforehand so that you can say, you know, hey, I need 40 copper bars for this. I need to start crafting those immediately at the beginning of the day so that I can have this finished before the end of the 2 or 3 day time period you have to do this. So it does eventually get much, much more complicated, but they also give you better tools to work with that work faster as you progress in the game. So it definitely does get much more complicated, though.
Okay, I figured, because I think I unlocked like the second furnace,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like in the process. I don't know. It's probably in this clip. You could just see it sitting on the workshop thing, but at least they give you that option later on to have the better things to make, at least to make it go faster, because it's kind of a slug in the beginning.
Hmm.
Because like you do stuff, and then if you don't, so you end up like running out of stamina, and you got nothing to do. Like you maybe can go talk to people, but everyone's moving around, going different places. So sometimes you're left with like nothing to do, and it's kind of annoying. But if it gets remedied like later on, then all it means that's good then.
Okay. I would say that in overall, I really did enjoy the crafting. The one thing that I did find an issue possibly with the crafting was the timing. I didn't like how it took so long to make some of the bars. Now I know in real life that's probably going to take about that amount of time, but this is a game and we want to move on with our lives. So why make it that long? um, that's just that can become a grind for time. So there you go. All right, moving on. Let me try one more time with Bailey's. If it doesn't work, we will move on.
I can just kind of give the gist of what mine was, if that helps.
That would be wonderful, because it's not wanting to come up at all.
Not a problem. So my clip, if I'm not mistaken, was me killing the colorful llamas.
Yes, it was.
And that's important because the colorful llamas drop an item, I think it's called fur or something like that, and you need an insane amount of these later in the game. So I was trying to show that, like, not only do you have to go into the mine and cut down trees to get materials, but you also have to kill the enemies for materials that you need too. So they do incorporate that combat not just as a way to prepare you for dungeons that are coming up, but also to gather materials you need to progress the game.
Right, and unfortunately this one is not going to come up for us. We apologize for that. Hopefully next time we won't have this issue. Moving on to how many stars? Okay, so for the gameplay, would you give it a star, Bailey? Bailey's. Yes?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry if that didn't come through.
No, I'm sorry, it did not. So you would give it a star. Is there a reason?
The fact that they incorporate every aspect of the game into progressing the storyline, that is why I gave it the star for this, is that there is no aspect that is just totally useless.
Great. Okay. Bullhead, how about you?
It gets a star from me. I liked it. It kept me playing. Just feel like they give you all like the little systems you need to do to get something made. So it'll get a star from me. I don't have no problem with that.
I will actually give it a star. I really did enjoy the crafting, and that's one of my major things that I love doing. So if it is it's about crafting, I'm going to be all about it. And I really did enjoy it. So the only thing I didn't enjoy about it was the timing. So of that, we are at now 7 stars. Let's move on to the next step. Here we go. It is the overall plot. Alright, for the overall plot, we have let's see here. Bullhead, you have another one.
I think this was me placing furniture, yeah. I didn't progress far into the story plot-wise,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't really give my opinion on it, because all I do is I build a bridge, you know? So, but like from what I played, like it didn't seem like too bad, like plot-wise, but like from then on, I can't really, it's tough to like give you a definite answer about how the plot is or how I would enjoy it unless I
Played it a little bit more.
yeah, unless you put that like a lot more time into it to get to those like story bits in the game.
Okay. I also see that with the overall plot, that was your house. That was given to you by your paw. It was your workshop and all that. And you had to basically rebuild it and start from scratch, putting in furniture and everything. It was considered a haunted house if you listen to the kids, and they're kind of upset with you because you have decided to make that your home again. So they used to be playing in it. Anyway. So, anything you would like to say about that, Bailey?
Sure. Again, I'm going to touch on the idea that the idea of a workshop and crafting things is ingenious as the primary moving point forward in the game. Plot-wise, having gotten quite a bit through the plot of the game, it's your typical RPG tropes. Like there was nothing in the overall plot of the game that shocked me that I hadn't seen before. And I'm trying to say this without spoiling anything, so that's I think that's about all I can say, is that there was nothing spectacularly outstanding about the general plot of the game outside of the fact that you were using a workshop instead of a farm. So I will mention, just like every other game in the genre, if your father's shop was the most successful shop in the entire village, why is there nothing here?
Right. that does kind of make me concerned too.
Or if it was successful, when was it successful?
Exactly. Was it 30 years ago?
And who stole all of his equipment?
Exactly. Well, you know, the kids were playing in there.
It was Higgins. It was definitely Higgins.
Oh yeah, he must have done it. He must have done it. Speaking of
Always Higgins.
Let's see
He
if
would have got.
yeah. Let me see if I got.
Oh dear. You should ask your neighbor Emily about how to farm. Okay, great.
This is
Here,
about the church.
I'll take the disc and give you some seeds to get you started.
Oh.
When you discover more discs, bring them to us, and we'll give you more seeds. You'll be doing this world a great service.
To them, they'll give you seeds.
So I either give it to the
because they
research
wanna
center or I give it to
destroy
them.
What destroyed their world? This
Once
is a
to get their hands on all the advanced dangerous technology. That doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Oh dear. You should ask your neighbor Emily about how to farm. Okay, great. Here, I'll take the disc and give you some seeds to get you started.
Oh.
When you discover more discs, bring them to us, and we'll give you more seeds. You'll be doing this world a great service.
Then you get other things.
So I either give it to the research center or I give it to them.
Or use
Once
the workshop
to get their hands on all the advanced dangerous technology. That doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Oh dear. You should ask your neighbor Emily about how to farm. Okay, great. Here,
Absolutely.
I'll take the
This
disc
is
and
part of what I
give
was
you some
talking
seeds to
about
get you
with things
started.
that I've seen before.
When you discover more discs,
For anybody
bring
who's
them to
played
us, and
Final
we'll give you
Fantasy
more
X,
seeds.
you'll understand what I
You'll be
say
doing
when
this world a
the
great
church
service.
is basically saying we can't use the forbidden
So I either
Akina.
give it to the research center or I give it to them.
It's that Final Fantasy X plot
Once
again, as
to get their
machines
hands
are
on all
what
the
cause the
advanced
evil,
dangerous
not the people
technology.
using
That
them.
doesn't sound suspicious
And-
at all.
Oh dear.
I mean, we're used to
You
seeing
should
people
ask
not
your
wanting
neighbor
to accept
Emily
the,
about how to
the
farm.
blame for their actions.
Okay, great.
just part of human nature.
I'll take the disc and give you some seeds to get you started.
Yeah,
When you
this is what I
discover
was
more
talking about when I
discs,
said we've
bring
seen
them
it
to
all
us,
before.
and we'll give you more seeds.
As far
You'll
as
be doing this world a great service.
I will mention that
So I either give it to
there are
the
an infinite
research
number
center
of discs,
or I
so it
give it
doesn't
to
really
them.
matter what you do with them.
Once
In the end,
to get their
but you
hands
do need
on
to
all
give
the
some to
advanced
both to
dangerous
progress the
technology.
game.
That doesn't sound
So
suspicious
you
at all.
don't really
dear.
get to pick a side.
You
go
should
with
ask
it.
your neighbor Emily
Which is
about how to
unfortunate.
farm. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
because after a
Here,
while,
I'll take the
have
disc
only
and
so
give you some
many
seeds to get you
discs.
started.
Start out
When
with
you
these,
discover more discs,
but then
bring them to
eventually
us, and we'll give you
you're
more
gonna wanna use
seeds.
these for
You'll be doing this
research.
world a great service.
So, anything you would like
So
to
I either
bring
give
up
it to
about
the
that
research
game?
center or I give it to them.
I thought it was like a cool
Once
aspect.
to get their hands
have
on
one
all the
place, one to,
advanced
like,
dangerous
get rid
technology.
of the
That
discs,
doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Oh dear. You should ask your neighbor Emily about how to farm.
Get rid of them.
Okay, great.
So
Here,
I'd always choose.
I'll take the disc and give you some seeds to get you started.
I choose
When
not
you
get rid of
discover
them.
more discs, bring them to us, and we'll give you
But
more seeds.
The fact that
You'll be
it
doing
doesn't
this
really
world a
matter
great
who
service.
you give it to is, that kinda
So I either
sucks.
give it to the research
you could
center
choose
or
a
I give it to
side.
them.
Yeah, you always have
Once
something like that happen.
to get their hands on all the advanced dangerous tech.
to this. I believe this is the runes. This is yours, Bullhead. What would you like to say about it?
I was exploring it, and I just wanted to show it off. I think it's a cool aspect. I think there's multiple runes in the game, and I think this is just this is what, the beginner one with no monsters and everything like that. So it's pretty simple and straightforward.
They actually have two types of runes. There's this type, and then there's like the combat runes or ruins, and they're two totally different things. So
Okay, I thought it was just a
yeah,
harder
so did I when I
version.
first started playing.
But like, I still liked it. I mean, it was a cool aspect. It gave you something to do, and you can switch. I think you could switch floors and everything like that. Like stuff you wanted to do, and I wish they made it easier to discern. I guess you need to just play enough to like get the eye for it, to like
Sure.
discern between like dirt and like I think iron chunks or like iron. It's cool. I thought the digging aspect was pretty cool. It was annoying using the jetpack in some places because you get stuck, or if you like dug down a hole and then you found like another like relic in the floor, like you had to like fly into like the tunnel you dug awkwardly so you can get to like another treasure. At least that's how it was
Yeah.
for me. Which it was annoying because you didn't like you fell, but like I liked it. I mean, I thought it was a good addition. It kept you busy when there was nothing else to do. But just like with gathering stuff, you got to be careful about your stamina and everything.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you can kind of, well, yeah, you kind of forget what. At least in here, like I'd forget, like that, like I was using stamina because it didn't really feel like it. Felt like you were doing this little side adventure game where you can go like mining or digging for like little things. So I thought it was nice. Yeah, I like digging in like Breath of Fire 4. It was like a little digging mini game with a dog. So it was enjoyable. I liked it.
Now, even though this is about the overall plot, there was one thing I did like about the mechanics on this particular ideas. They did give you the way to get back, even if you were stuck in a hole. And I'm one of those people that I will get stuck in any hole in any game. And I did get stuck, but thankfully, I was able to use Map E and get out of it. So.
It was the little get out of jail free card, which is nice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. What I also enjoyed about this was that you could actually use it for either the church to get things, to build things, to make things go, make things better by using ruins past history to make what we know now. As in real life, we have to use history in order to move on with our future selves. We have to use this or hence we will either repeat it, or we will forget how to make it. So I kind of liked that little aspect there. Alright, moving on. Let's go with the next one you chose. Alright, you chose to do a little bit of resource gathering. How would you explain that works with the overall plot?
It's necessary, right? Like 100%. You need to do, like, you can't, like, not do it if you don't, like, if you don't, well, I guess you don't got to, I mean, hey, by all means, but to even, like, start out, they basically make you gather wood off the floor and stones off the floor to make stuff, so.
Yeah, so it's...
I mean, it feels nice. Like, it feels nice gathering things, like, you like a little oomph when you swing, and it feels like, you know, it feels nice, so I enjoyed it. Just like with the ruins, like, it's all necessary.
It feels like you're really gonna work.
Yeah, they make you, like, really go at it, and then, like, if you want to get the... I don't know if they have different names for the trees, but there's one really, like, wide tree.
Right there.
I think that one, yeah, that you need an even better, like, axe for, so...
Right, it drops hardwood, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's... Overall, it was nice. Like, I liked it. And it wasn't that bad, actually, like, upgrading your axe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes these games, like, get to be a pain in the butt when you want to, like, upgrade to, like, the next tier.
That is true.
But this one was nice, so...
Right.
And
I think the one that you were talking about that does hardwood, it has cocoons in that you use to make a fishing rod, and they had something like a fishing day in one of your former ones. Did any of you go to a fishing day?
I have in the past, yes, but not on this playthrough.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about what you did in the past?
Right, so the fishing day basically is how many fish can you catch in this amount of time, and each fish is worth a certain amount of points, and then they judge you versus the other NPCs that played in the fishing game. And how well you do gauges what prize you get in the mail the next day. So...
That's actually
there's just
pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the game's... I think the coolest event that you guys probably didn't get to was the Derby. So...
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a horse racing derby.
That's a horse racing derby. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this next clip, I'm not sure if it's going to play out, but it was about the music. Let's see if I actually got it.
Karsa, we need to give our overall opinion before we move to the music.
Right, we need to give our overall. All right, let's do our overall for the plot. All right, so let's start with you, Bailey. What star would you give it, a star or no?
I will be honest that this was the toughest category for me to rate this game, and honestly, it came down to the ingenuity of the crafting system, the making your money in the game by crafting things at your workbench and your platform. It's the reason I give it the star on this, because otherwise it's just a run-of-the-mill RPG.
Okay, how about you?
Yeah.
How about you, Bullhead? Star or no?
I was thinking pretty much the same thing. I think if they took the crafting out, I think it wouldn't be as fun. It'd kind of get boring. But like with that system in, I'd give, well, if I could give it half a star, I would, because I don't really know much about the story plot. But like all the mechanics that you need to like continue the story, I do like though. But I would still give it a star.
Okay.
I thought it was very good.
Alrighty. I would give it a star. I don't feel like we even really touched in with it any hours on the real plot, though. But I'd still give it a star for even getting it started with just having the workshop and a little bit about the science versus church situation there. So I give it a star. And that is our stars. We are now up to 9 stars. So let's move on to music. After I stop this real quick. Let's see here. Where'd it go? There we go. And moving to music. I really wanted to get that music. Alright, we are now into music. And for the music, we had a small segment. If it plays, it will be great. Here we go. We will attempt to listen to this music real quick. Okay, so you heard a short amount of music. Very chill music, I felt. I liked it. But I don't play the music for my stream. I tend to use my own type of music. But I did like the music. If I was to have this game and I wasn't streaming, I'd probably have the music on, maybe a little bit lower, just so that I had something in the background that was very chill, very relaxing. What did you think, Bailey?
Right, so I definitely feel that the music matches the game. They did a very good job with that. More importantly, and I do play with the music on my stream. I'm, if they're going to copyright strike me, say la vie, they'll just block it out of the video and I'll move on with my life. But the music itself, I find myself humming along to it while I play because it's just so relaxing and it helps you get absorbed in the game. And there are so many games where the music just doesn't. It just does not fit the game. And in this game, I feel like it really did.
All right. And how about you, Bullhead?
I think the tones matched, but it didn't really stick out to me. I found, I was making clips and I forgot the music was playing because I tuned it out after a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it on for my stream so it can just as because we were testing the game out, it would be weird for me to just turn the music off and then put on my own music.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I were to play this without streaming, I would definitely just turn the music off. I can see how it's nice. It's just not my fit, and I eventually just tune it out where I didn't really hear it that much. So
okay. All right, so that was a quick thing about the music. I know there's a lot of other types of music in different places that you would be in. They would change it a little bit, but it kept pretty chill. I from what I was playing, even with the little bit I did play off stream. But I did like it. So I'm going to give it a star for matching, and I just overall I really did like the music. It was something I would listen to, even in the background when everything just was. Maybe I get into the game and I totally forget it's there, but it's something that just would play in the background in my head. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a star. How about you, Bailey?
Absolutely. I think that the music really tied the game together for me. So it's getting my star for that one for certain.
And how about you, Bullhead?
I'm not. I mean, it wasn't a hit for me.
Okay.
I get I get what they were trying to do and the directions they were going for like a relaxed, like chill time. You do your things, you do this, you do that, but it just didn't fit me personally. So
All
I'd
right.
rather not give it the star than try and give it to it. You know.
Yep. So that gets us to 11 stars. Now we are moving finally into the overall view. Alright, so for the overall view, let me see if I have any clips. I think I did not. For the overall view, let's talk about it. In terms of this game, would you play it again? And if you would play it again, why? Or why not? Bailey, you may start first.
Have and will do again. I love the system. I love that every time I replay the game, I get a new experience. There are things that happened before that I didn't know existed, like especially just watching this, I had zero idea you could actually put things on the bookshelves. So Bullhead introduced me to that, and as many hours, probably over 100 that I put into this, I didn't know you could do that. And so um, the overall feel of the game is just, it's something that makes you like, there are times you'll get so tired of crafting and you're just like, I just want a few days to just cut down trees and replenish my stocks. And then other times you'll be like, man, I have nothing to do. And then they'll hit you with like a week straight of requests that keep you so busy you don't have time to think, and it draws you in. So, you know, oh, it's a perfect scene to use right here.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you get to a point where, like, especially early on in the game, I know because I've played it before that if you don't build the bridge, nothing can progress in the game. So all of those quests that come after that don't happen, so you have all the time in the world to set yourself up for success before you build that bridge. And so with that knowledge, replaying the game becomes instantly more fun because you have enough time to set yourself up for success and you don't feel like you're rushing yourself. So yeah, definitely.
All right. So that would definitely be a star for you. All right. Then, let's go ahead with you, Bullhead. Would you play it or not, and why?
All right, so I would keep playing it. I think it's a fun little. It was like crafting, farming, life sim. I don't know how to classify these games because it hits like many different types of like aspects, but like I still have it installed. Like I never uninstalled it, and I was planning to play it again, like eventually in the next couple days. So overall I liked it. I mean, some things did annoy me, but like I like what they did with it, and it's just like some of the things they put in. It's like a nice little like breath of fresh air. And speaking of like restarting over, like I think like if you go back and start a new game knowing what you know now, it makes the experience I think like 100 times better. So I would recommend definitely giving it another shot.
Yes. You know, I would also I think I would do it as well. I really enjoyed this game. It does fit in the type of game that I would play over and over again. And just for the fun of it, it's got the best crafting I've seen in some of the free games that are out there. I would definitely play it again, also because of the well, in overall, I feel like I want to find out what is the difference between the church and the science. I really want to find that out. I also really want to find out how big can I make my workshop, or how big, or what else can I build besides just this basic thing. I mean, we just started with the first floor, but I want to see if I can do more. So I would definitely play it. Alright. Anybody have any thoughts, comments that you would like to bring up before we give the overall point that we made for today?
I think I have anything to add.
Yeah, I think I had to say, I said what I had to say about it.
Okay.
Like, unless I play more, then I'd have more to say, but like what I've invested in and what I've done, I think.
Yeah,
I said all I could about what I know.
I would have probably invested a lot more time in this if I was playing it constantly. This is definitely one thing that I think you could even stream and people would love. We have an overall star point of 11 out of 15. 2 of them probably were taken away with, one was with the music, and one was with, and 2 of them came from, I think, the mechanics, and then the plot. So, with all that, we have 11 out of 15 stars. I think this is a good start. What do you think?
I think it was a great game to start with. I think we all liked it to varying degrees, and it certainly wasn't a bust, and something we can definitely start a review telling people, yeah, we'd recommend this. So it's a good start for us.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, 11 out of 15. 11 out of 15 is good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think for like as something to start with, like I think it's worth it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I would play it again. I think I played it a long time ago, but I didn't get too far invested into it. And then when you brought it up again, I was like, oh, I remember this a little bit. And then playing it again, I was like, yeah, it's worth playing. I would recommend it to people. It'd be even cooler if it had like multiplayer or something where you can like play with friends and things like that.
Great news.
Oh.
Some
But,
really
yeah.
great news. They're creating a sequel called My Time at Sandrock, and what they're working on currently is the multiplayer.
Ooh, that looks like one I
Because
would play.
yeah, like I thought this game would be like a zillion times better with some multiplayer.
I think
Because
I
like running around and
agree.
gathering stuff is fun, but like it's like even better when you could just. It's like when they did it with
Stardew?
Stardew. Everyone was like, oh, just makes the over. I think it just makes the overall experience like 10 times better.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, hey, if the sequel comes out, maybe we'll review that as well.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun one. All right, so we are at the end of our system here, and what we're gonna do for this quickly is we're gonna go ahead and talk about next week. Next week, our game that we're going to be reviewing, I think we're going to go for 2 weeks actually, will be for Slime Ranchers. Now, have any of you ever played that before?
This one's new to me.
I may have seen a friend play it, or she was like telling me about it, but I never. I think I looked it up once, and that was it. So it's going to be a new experience going into it.
Yeah, so I've heard that it's one of those that you need some more time, so that's why we're going with 2 weeks. So that will be our next one that we're going to be doing, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you, Bullhead, for both being here and helping with the review, giving basically your opinion, comments, and output, helping in the backgrounds. Bailey for doing the thumbnail and a few other things as well. Bullhead for giving me some clips, as well as Bailey. Thank you all for helping me out with this, and I hope that we can do this again. And I kind of like, I think I like how it started out. What do you think?
This has been so low pressure. We obviously all had different opinions, but it didn't seem to bother any of us if anybody felt differently than we did. And I think that speaks volumes for how we work together as a team going forward. And I really appreciate that we can see eye to eye even when we disagree. So I think that's great for us and great for our viewers.
Yes.
Yeah, that type of attitude going on in the future is going to be nice because it just teaches people that it's like you may have different opinions, but one thing is not always going to work out the same way for every person. They're always going to experience something different, or something that different's going to happen to them. So being able to just sit there, listen, and understand is a huge benefit, especially when you do something like this.
Okay, so let's go ahead and one more time, Bailey, will you tell us how we can find you and also what you like to stream?
Right, so I'm available on twitch.tv/ Bailez115. Sorry, I know my own name. I swear I came up with it myself. I love my Fire Emblem games. I run a Fire Emblem stream every Friday, as long as life doesn't get in the way. And otherwise, I'll be playing a variety of different games on stream, including what we're doing for the Nexus Roundtable coming up over the next week or weeks that we have. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central. So I look forward to seeing any of you there that wish to join me.
All right. Bullhead, would you please do the same?
Sure, you can reach me at twitch.tv/itsbullhead. I normally go by just Bullhead. Sadly, someone else has the name I've been wanting for a long time and I can't get it. But I also stream a variety of things. I grew up on RPGs, but I do branch out. I have played a lot of first-person shooter stuff. So I tried the battle royales. I try strategy games and things like that. But I stream. I just changed up my schedule, but I stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and you'll catch me playing pretty much anything. And then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'll be playing the game we are going to review. So hopefully I can catch all the new people over there one day.
All right, and I am also streaming on twitch.tv, Karsa KKWX. I stream on Sundays at 10 a.m. to 2. On Monday, we do a Starfinder campaign called Collateral Damage. And that is at 10 to 1. And then on Monday, I also am going to be doing this setup for our reviews. That will be from 1 to 4. On Wednesday, I play Space Engineers from 1 to 4 with Tenable Target. On Friday, I'll probably be playing this setup or whatever I feel like, depending on how long it takes for me to deal with the game that we're going to be reviewing. I sometimes will play something with my brother. I'm doing some survival games, things like that. If it's out there, I'll play it. And that is my schedule for the week. You can find again me on twitch.tv as you can my friends here. You can also find my YouTube under my same name, Karsa KKWX, and you can find our YouTube at Nexus Roundtable. So, thank you all for being here. We appreciate you and hope to see you all again. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.